Hi, welcome to the GF channel. In today's episode we're installing a cruise control from Mazda 6 to our 626. Sorry for my voice, I had been to a concert and well. So this is the cruise control from Mazda 6. I have already checked it that it's working in a 6. It does work, so shouldn't have problems here. First, why do I think it should work, and what do I gain with it working? This is the training menu for the Mazda 6, and in it says that the construction and operation of cruise control system is essentially carried over from that of the 626 GF model, except of the following. Now, these are all the differences and things are not similar. The cruise control with built-in module has been adopted, so instead of you having here a module electronics and under the hood you have actuator, you have one thing only. This is the thing, and it is motor type. So the thing that we have under the hood, it's vacuum type. This is a motor type, which it's supposed to be more economic and more precise. The tap up and down function has been added. That's why I actually want to do it, because I want to install a Mazda 6 steering wheel and I want this up and down thingy to actually work when I press it to work. There are methods to actually make this work with the current cruise control, but I do not want to do that. I want an up and down function. And the vehicle speed at which the cruise control setting is available has been changed. It's changed to 30 kilometers. So it's lowered. Essentially we can turn it on earlier. And what's interesting is that we have the same clutch switch and brake switch, so nothing has to be changed for these. Nonetheless, I've done here a setup, a pretty simple setup. The only signal I get from the car is the vehicle speed sensor. That's the only thing I actually care. This is because I am a bit concerned, is the speed sensor the same? Although I have switched this lever here with 1 from 6, which can read the vehicle speed. You can actually check, I have a video on it, and control the wipers based on the vehicle speed, and it works. So still I want to check if this is gonna be happy with my vehicle speed sensor. All the other wires I actually grabbed from here. I have here both battery plus and ground, and I have connected them as following here on this table. VSS, I told you I get it off. This one, the brake on off switch, goes to ground, because when the pedal is released, so when it's not depressed, when it's released it should be below 0 volts, goes to ground. And the clutch switch says when it's not pressed it should not have connectivity to ground, so this is the clutch switch wire, just sits like that, nothing connects to it. Then the output, I've connected here the output. This one supposed to show 12 volts when the set is on. The main light I haven't connected, because I don't have it anyhow. The ground I have connected, of course, to ground. Now the switch, I have here the whole assembly and switches, and I've connected it so I can easily turn it on. The brake switch goes to 12 volts, because this is the opposite brake switch too, which is when you haven't pressed the pedal, you should pass battery plus. And I have battery plus again here. Of course it's not when ignition switch is on, because I get it from the accessories, which means I get it from when ACC is on, but that doesn't matter. So that is how I actually isolate all the sensors, not sensors but switches that I have in the car, and I make sure that only the VSS is being read. So let's do a test. Okay, put my seatbelt on. Come on. Okay, seat belt is here. Supposedly once I reach 30 I should be able to hit it, but I'll just to make sure do it at 40 or 50 or something like that. Of course there's currently traffic. Okay, going. Okay, 40. I hit set. Yes, and you can see, and you can actually even hear it. Okay, it has reached the end because it figured out that it cannot accelerate the car even though it's trying, or maybe when I slow down enough it actually cancelled. Anyhow, it seems to be working, so it's time to actually figure out how to mount it properly to the car and pull the actual wires, and then see what to do with the cable to the pedal. Okay, so that's the temporary spot that I have found. I'll actually make it permanent, but I'll have to make more adjustment to the way I fixed it and the way that the cable works. But for a temporary solution should give enough idea if it's working or not. That's the original spot for the original cruise control. I'm using the same mounting here, and I also use the throttle body metal plank that holds the cable. I've also used it because of the way that it actually connects. So just for the test, this is the original cable. I'm using this as an anchor point, so when this starts pulling, it actually pulls the metal part, not the rubber. Same goes here, that's why I use the throttle body. When it pulls, it's gonna pull the metal part. It goes like that, and goes in here. Now that's temporary. The best thing would be to make this actually fit here. As you can see, the end is the same, but the length that I need here, it's way different than this one. This is way shorter. I'll see what I can do about that. As for the electrical part, that's the connector. Goes like that and goes in here. Now if you do not know how to actually pull the cables through, or how to remove here everything, I've explained that in my other video where I actually install 626 cruise control to this car. Check it out, it's explained there how I pull cables through and how to disassemble here everything. So cables are here, all these yellow things are soldering points, and now I have an issue. I have started diagnostics mode 1, 2, 3 long ones, one short one, and I've looked it up here. That's without me actually even starting the car. So I've checked the original one, doesn't have an error, and then I checked for DT C31, it's the brake switch, and the problem is one of the two brake switches. So either the one that's supposed to have 12 volts when you do not touch the pedal, or the other one that has 0 volts when you do not touch the pedal, apparently doesn't work. So in the training manual it said it's the same switch, but apparently there are issues, there are changes. My best guess is that I was actually, for these 0 volts here, I was passing ground, and that's my best guess. I need to pass it. I need to pass the ground here, and my best guess is the original installation of the car actually just has no connection, like it says here. Open circuit in wiring harness between brake switch and cruise control terminal C. So that's my best guess, that I have an open circuit, so nothing is happening. I'm gonna do some tests now. I'm gonna measure what I get and see how I can modify the things so I can get the proper thingy. Worst case scenario, if I get 12 volts here, I can use a relay, double throw relay, and I can actually have it in one, have a ground actually appear here, and that's actually better than having to change the whole brake switch, because the brake switch of the 626, if you watch again the other video of installation of the original 626, there are two types of brake switches. One is with cruise control and the other one is without cruise control, and I think you can use a simple relay to actually even use the original switch. Anyhow, I'll do now some tests, see why is it complaining about the brake switch. Okay, I did figure out why is the Mazda 6 cruise control complaining about the brake switch. Problem was with the brake switch 2, which is supposed to have battery plus if you haven't touched the pedal. So just measure the battery plus, and it's supposed to have the measure the brake switch 2, and it's supposed to have battery plus. Now if you go here to the same switch on the 626, so this one, which is with other B plus, it seems exactly the same. Well, it seems. Now you have the test condition different here. You have to be on ignition on and cruise main switch hold at on. Now that's the key. Cruise main switch hold at on. Here we have just ignition switch to on, and we have to get battery plus there. And here, if you just switch to ignition to on, you're not gonna get the battery plus. You have to also press the main switch. Reason for that is quite interesting. If you take a look at this one here, cruise control actuator power supply, it actually connects to the brake switch, and also test condition is get from the ignition on, when it's to ignition on, and it's helped to get battery plus. So long story short, what I'm trying to say is the way that the Mazda 626 cruise control switch, cruise control brake switch 2 works is by getting its battery level out from the cruise control itself. So whenever you press the this one, whenever you press it here, you're actually powering on also the brake switch. So this cruise control power actuator supply goes both to the cruise control, to the cruise actuator under the bonnet, and to the brake switch at the same time. And then and only then you have battery plus at the brake switch. While on Mazda 6, just by turning the ignition switch to on position, you already have it there. So when you press the brake pedal, you're already disconnecting, and without pressing it, you already have battery plus there. While with the installation of the 626, you do not have. So in order for me to solve this, I've just done this. There are two ways actually to do it. This is one way. It's dirty, and I'm gonna do it properly after I test everything works. I just connected the ignition wire with the one that's for powering the cruise control actuator. The other way is to actually fix it here with the brake pedal, with the brake switch. You just connect there the ignition to the other wire. Now I prefer this way because it's backwards compatible. If you decide to go back with the 6 to 6 cruise control, you just unplug these and plug the cruise control. Nothing is going to change. And in the other way, if you do it on the brake switch, when you place here the cruise control module, you're gonna have extra 12 volts coming instead of going out, which probably shouldn't hurt anything, but I don't know what could be an issue there. So I prefer this way. And now I've entered the test mode. As you can see, nothing is lit here. If I press the brake pedal, then I get this code 31. That's what we want. So no errors, everything checks out. Let's go and test it on the road. So I did a test, it didn't went well. So I executed here the other detection mode, for condition detection mode, which actually involves driving first, then doing some stuff, and then seeing what the error code is. In our case, this blinks 7 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 times, and 7 times is, guess what? Again, brake switch. So the previous didn't complain about the brake switch, but while driving apparently doesn't like something with the brake switch. I'll have to figure out what is it. My plan is to actually remove the 2 wires that go to the under the hood to the module, and actually apply to them the same voltage that I applied this in the same way at the beginning when it was working. My best guess is it's complaining about the 0 volts, because it's not actually 0 volts, it's floating. It's not 0 volts, it's disconnected. My best guess is I need to have some 0 actually ground to go to there. We'll see when I connect stuff and isolate the brake switch. I'll make it like it's always properly, always not pressed pedal. Then we'll see what happens. Okay, so that is how the difference between the Mazda 6 and Mazda 6 to 6 installation systems work for the brake switch. I have installed here pull down resistors. For those of you who do not know what a pull down or pull up resistor is, whenever you're dealing with switches like the brake switch here, it actually leaves your wire in a floating state, so it's neither connected to ground nor to battery plus. It's just floating, and when it's floating it picks up noises, lots of noises that are all around you. And when listening for when actually these noises are actually voltages, so when reading voltages you can actually read quite high voltages, like you can get 7, 8, 9 volts, which could be considered as high from the logic of the cruise control. So it doesn't matter that it doesn't have any current to it that will power on anything, but it has the voltage, so it's fluctuating between high and low state. That is why you need to do those pull down resistor, in this case down, because whenever there's 12 volts it's the high, and we need, whenever there's no 12 volts, to be low. So it's a pull down. You just connect the same wire to ground through this resistor. Now, as for the value of the resistor, I've used 260 ohms, quarter watt, so they do seem fine. Everything seems to be working for now. We're gonna go and test outside in a bit, but I left it on on position. When it's on on position, it actually, there is current flowing through here, and one of them gets hot, but it's fine, it's not that hot. I believe 260 should be fine. It's ohms, so it's low enough. And now let's test if the cruise control is happy with the procedure. With, let me just turn it on. Okay, cruise, and no fault codes. That's good. That's very good. Now we press the pedal. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. 1. Okay, that's beautiful. That's very good. This means that we actually, and that's the clutch. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, clutch is working. The other ones should also be working. This is the reset. 1, 2. 1, 2. Okay, 22. That's apparently the reset. And now when I press the set, 1, 2, 1, 21. Okay, this is everything you can test, and the other one is driving. It seems to be working. It seems to be happy with the pull down resistors. No issues. Let's go on the road and see if we finally can get this to actually start cruising the car. Okay, let's go. We are at 40. Let's give it a bit more. Hit set, and it's actually set. It stays, but the car is slowing down. Yep, we are slowing down. Probably we're gonna have to stop. Doesn't want to pull the wire up, and it has actually automatically stopped because I reached 30 kilometers per hour. So it's a mechanical issue. We're gonna see in a bit what happened with the cables. Let's give it another shot, so we know that it's actually not random. Okay, 30, 50, set. Here we go. It is actually set, but again we are slowing down. It doesn't want to pull up. Let me try to press accelerate multiple times. Trying, pressing. No, doesn't happen. So something went wrong. I believe it's still pulling it a bit because it's I'm not slowing down enormously, which should happen when I'm driving in gear. Okay, let's see what happened with the cables. Okay, it seems like the anchor point that I was using here is too weak, and this actually pulls the cable. I need to make this cable strongly fit so I can do the mechanical test. But I can see it's actually working. It was moved like that, and I actually left it like that. So it did move it, and this is why it's actually not working. I need to make it stable. So I came to the cutting part of the cable. I did try fixing this better. It did work. The car was actually able to accelerate. It took it some time until it reached there because there was still wobbling part. I also noticed this pulsing movement that I noticed when I was using the logic, the cruise control logic from MPV, which you can see in the other video for installing MPV logic to the 626. I'll have a link in the description below. Anyhow, I decided that it's time to fix the cable. So I tried to remove the whole cable with the shield. Unfortunately, we have this kind of clips that are from the inner part here inside. I lost 1 hour. I even removed the gas pedal just so I have more room. I'm unable to do it. You need special tools to actually squeeze those. So I directly cut it. As you can see, that was the end, like that. So I've just cut it. Come on, focus. Anyhow, that is the length of the cable. We are going to use the same shield, but we need to increase cable length. And as you can see, we have plenty. It ends here, and we have all the way up to here. We have like triple the distance. So my plan, how to fix it afterwards, it's quite simple. I'll show you now. This is one of those electrical connectors that you plug wires from both sides and then use those screws to screw them in. I'm just planning to do exactly the same here. Place the cable and screw with the 2 screws. Now we're gonna see if it's 2. It's supposed to be better with 2, but as you can see, there might not be space for the second one. Anyhow, it fits perfectly. That's actually where the ball is on your gas pedal, and these ends are the same. So what I'm gonna do now, cut that part there, get the whole cable out, actually stick it in the whole cable in the 626 and start adjusting with this until I find the right length at which this should be, and then I can cut it. Simple cutters, actually cheap ones, were able to cut this, so it's not that strong. Okay, let's do it.
Okay, that is the result. There's lots of excess cable. I've actually zip tied it to the cruise control part. Moving it like that is fine. Moving it like that is also fine. It's not in the way anywhere. Okay, now
let's go. Here, prototype is getting closer. I have different mounting. I'm out of nuts. I have to go grab some. So this is the original shield. Comes to here. From here you can adjust it if you have a little bit of slack. You should have just a little bit like that, but if it's more, you can adjust it from here. And right now, let me try to grab it. There is the throttle there. If I start turning here, it's hard. Let me try. You can see it actually turns there. That's exactly what the cruise control does. Okay, let's set some nuts and go test it. Okay, time to go. Nuts are placed. 40. I hit set. moment it picked up, holds the speed. Now I'll hit increase the speed and it does increase. Seems a bit more than a kilometer, 1.6 kilometers per hour. There's this pulsing again. It's actually holding it. So I'll increase again. It actually does increase it with about that much, yes. Increase again. Yeah, exactly that much. Increase again. Yes. Pretty much. Let's try decreasing. I'll press multiple times. Yes. Very good. I'm happy. Okay. I'm currently installing the indicator for the cruise main because I do not like when I press, I don't know if it's on or not on, and I do not want to leave it on constantly. So this is the wire from the cruise control. It comes to here, and I have a relay here. The point of that relay is to turn off the main while the set is on, because I want to use the same indicator. Let me grab the instrument cluster. We'll be able to see cruise. It's barely visible. Maybe on this one here. Yes, this one. You see it's green, but even though it's green, if you shine through it lots of other light, other color, it's actually gonna come right. Not light, but the color you shine through. So I'm gonna shine yellow / orange, and I want the yellow / orange to turn off once the green one is on. That's why that is what this relay does. So this is a double throw, single pole double throw relay. The signal comes here and it's on normal closed position, continues down to here. I'm gonna speak for the bulb in a bit. So normally closed. Once the ground, because the set is actually controlled by ground, this is the pin, the set pin. You can see there are 3 wires here, then a hole, then the set pin. It's pure green wire. Carries ground with it. When that ground comes here, it's gonna close the relay, and I'm getting the positive for the coil from the ignition wire. That's the ignition wire. That's black with yellow, and it's found here. You can see where it is, the 5th one from right to left. So ignition wire to the plus of the coil, minus comes from the set light. Once the coil is activated, it's gonna switch this wire to a pin which is not connected anywhere. So basically it's gonna disconnect the yellow light. And how does it look like? Let's see, because I have here set up. It looks like that, pretty much. 2 LEDs. Come on, focus. You can see 680 ohm SMD resistor and one below it, which is a normal one. So the normal resistor goes to the from the existing wiring of the speedo. So this is for the green, and the one from the top is for the yellow. The yellow was supposed, the green I believe was supposed to be with less of a resistance, but I made both of them 680. Another thing here in the green one, I have so this is the yellow bulb. As you can see, the wires are sticking out. That's controlled by 12 volts, so I have constant ground here. I get it from, well, ground. That's the ground. So the constant ground is from ground, and I have a pull down resistor here inside of this. Anything below 1 kilo ohm should do, I guess, because for some odd reason I found that the module actually gives me some voltage. on both the set and the main. So both of them have pull down and pull up register, because one is controlled by 12 volts, the other one by ground. So here I have pull down. The pull up resistor for the ground is actually mounted here, right here, between the ignition and again the pure green one. You have a resistor below 1 kilo. And actually from here I get my current setup. This is only to show the demonstration. Goes like that and goes to the plus side of the light bulb. And then the minus side goes with this extractor into the actual minus. That's so I can actually make the light bulb lit as if the instrument cluster is here. I do not want to twist much of the bulbs, so I'm gonna demonstrate like that. So I turn on the ignition. Now on. This is the on. Now I'm gonna go into the diagnostics mode. And now you can see only green, and then go back to yellow, green, yellow, green, yellow. So it's working. It doesn't want to focus the camera, but the other one is actually disengaging. Okay, let's assemble everything and see the final result. By the way, I did try, my first try was with regular LEDs, not SMDs. These are not powerful enough, and also they are more focused, so only 50 to 60 degrees viewing angle, and when you shine through here you can actually figure out where the LED is, which I do not like. I want even lighting. I'm hoping with this I'm gonna get it. So let's assemble and see. Okay, before we go do our final drive, let me show you how I fixed everything. This is original mounting brace from the cruise control. Same goes here, those two. The original one was holding on 2 points only, while the Mazda 6 one holds on 3. Sorry. I used only 2. Seems stable enough. I had to do these black ones or additional ones, so I fit it properly. Then the cable loom goes through here. I have used few zip ties here and there. Not that it's hot there, that's the intake, so it shouldn't be hot as the exhaust here. And as for the electrical part, I'm using the box from MPV. I didn't want to do bad job and remove all the circuit board for the cruise control from MPV. So this, okay, let's try better lighting. This plug right here, this is actually from the clock. The plug for the clock and the cruise control module exactly the same. So since I've swapped my clock with actual board computer, which uses the same plug, I was left with one useless clock. So what I did is I actually got the PCB, removed all the components, and actually installed the pull up and pull down resistors and the bridge that you can see. And because it's a little bit smaller, I had to actually glue it. And this actually will do original fitting. Now I just fit it to the car, plug in here the wire, and done. No vibrations are gonna break this one. For the cable of the cruise control actuator, old one, I actually used one of those self-vulcanizing tapes, and I just wrapped it. Now it holds everything. It's not gonna get dirty over time. So to make things clear, what you need if you want to install a 6 cruise control to a 6-to-6, if you do not have a 6-to-6 cruise control, you will need some mounting braces. You will need the cable from the 6-to-6 and the cable from 6, of course. the cruise control from 6, the gas pedal from 6 to 6 you also need, and I believe that's it. All the wires, you do not need original existing wiring and stuff like that if you're gonna simply do directly 6. Just the 6 controller, some mountings, and the gas pedal, because this pulls the gas pedal. With the you need the shielding here. That's it. Let's go test.
Okay. On. Yellow light. Beautiful. Let's hit set. Green light. Beautiful. And the car just picked up. I'm happy with the result. The only thing that I find as a downside is that it seems to be a little bit slower at picking up the speed of the car. So I guess it's slow. The motor actually spins slower than the vacuum did. But once it picks up, everything is perfect. No pulsing, keeps the speed proper. I'm happy. That's it. I hope you like it. Hit that subscribe button. I'll be posting more videos soon. Bye bye.